What's up, everybody? Welcome to Versus. This is episode 20. We made it. I'm John Marr. That's Will Cohen. Will, what's going on this fine time of day we're taping this?
I I have some knee pain going on here, but not nearly as much pain as I was going through and watching this goddamn movie. Like you would think, like it's fitting that this is number 20 because we've definitely hit a milestone. We have definitely reached the film that I feel is the absolute rock bottom for all these ITN distributed films. Like any single time that a character is banished from from a place for rape and murder and then is allowed to become an unstoppable killing machine and to try and kill again, somehow that hurts my sensibilities, and it should hurt my sensibilities, and this is where we're at.
And
Thank you,
we're
Louisa Warren, bitch.
talking about Louisa Warren's third Scarecrow movie, which actually has nothing to do with the first two Scarecrow movies. It's just another movie that has a Scarecrow in it. A year after she made two Scarecrow movies. Bold choice, just do another movie with a separate plot. This is Scarecrow's Revenge.
The battle between the Scarecrow and the Vikings has gone on for centuries. Only one will win. Place your bets. No Viking is safe on this land until the battle is over. And now the Scarecrow reigns until we die.
We can't win and the village will fall. Pull yourself together, Viking! Fight until your last breath! Hold off the monster until I've completed my quest. The village must not fall, Viking!
And that is The Scarecrow's Revenge. Will, let's start with the obvious. Vikings in the 9th century AD, all of them have British accents.
What?
What are you doing?
I'm resting.
They are of a vast racial disparity.
Oh, I can't even do that right!
Yeah, this is another reason why I think this is about as rock bottom as we can possibly get here, because this didn't need to be a period piece. They made it one, which makes it pretentious as shit right off the bat.
It's also like the Viking, even in the trailer, the Vikings been at war with the Scarecrow for centuries, but the prologue and the epilogue have no like logical grounding in the actual story.
And correct me if I'm wrong, they never mention a war between the Scarecrow and the Scarecrows and the Vikings in the movie itself.
I don't think that line of dialogue we see in the trailer is in the movie.
No,
but it definitely watching the trailer after the movie puts it in perspective because you don't understand why the Scarecrow exists in the prologue, in the cold open. And you don't understand why the Scarecrow would exist in the epilogue. Because the story of the Scarecrow is told in the body of the movie.
So there's two, like, honestly, John, there are two things that actually tie this to the other films. There's only two bits of information that are carried on throughout all the other two films. One is that they are attempting to do the every couple years a the Scarecrow comes back, because at the very end of the film, that's what happens. And 2, yet another person gets choked to death by hay.
Yes.
Those are the only 2 things that connect these films together.
And the fact that the guy becomes the Scarecrow by being tied to the Scarecrow. Actually, he escapes, doesn't he? He escapes. They actually try to kill him the same way they allegedly kill the guys in the movies. But this guy, like, they literally tie his wrist with twine, and he's like, oh, fuck this, and breaks free.
And that's not how he becomes the Scarecrow either. He becomes the Scarecrow by essentially selling his immortal soul to the Witch of the Lake.
I want all the Vikings of Ukraine dead, in the village destroyed. What do you offer?
Yeah, breaking the canon completely in two, and all because, again, he's banished from the Viking village for trying to rape and murder the daughter of one of the important people in the community.
Second in command guy, he like kidnaps and basically unsuccessfully tries to rape her. She fights him off and she runs away. So, and they just banish him because he tried to pull that shit. And his response to not dying is like, oh, I got called out as a rapist, so let me sell my soul to a witch. It's a very not really equivalent response to what happened to him.
I didn't realize that this was supposed to be the Jared Leto story, really. But this is just absolutely terrible. And on top of everything, this film just tries so hard to be smart, and it fails on all stretches that you can imagine, because the big king of the king, turns out that the Lake Witch is his ex-wife, who she goes because she was having like witch visions and shit, and so she essentially sells her soul to the previous Lake Witch or something, and all of a sudden gets witch powers. Apparently, this lake is just like full of witch.
You're giving him more explanation than we're given.
I'm honestly surprised that no one just kept on saying "witch, please," because all the other vernacular is just fucking stupid.
I beg you, if there is any remnant of my Elena left, take pity on me.
And so, and it turned out that they, before she went off, they had a daughter who now apparently also is kind of psychic.
But yeah, so there's the leader of the Vikings, in England, Jaredon, and his daughter is Greta. So they're the main characters. So the other guy was Henrik, tries to rape a woman. He's banished. He decides, I'm not going to take this banishment lying down. He decides to basically commit suicide via witch and being reincarnated as a scarecrow, who then lays waste to this entire village of Vikings.
And all these, everything I know about the Vikings were warriors. These were smart tactician, tactical people.
Yeah.
And yet every single one of these Vikings is being taken out because they keep turning their back to their villain.
They're not even trying. They legit, and you can see it in the trailer. They literally just stand there. They're not even looking. They're just standing there. Even in times when they're full well hunting the scarecrow, they're just standing there, waiting to be taken out.
Yeah, I will give this film one bit of credit, Because lo and behold, once again, this is like the mark of like every single bad Louisa Warren film, like really rock bottom bad Louisa Warren film. When she acts in her own film, that's when you can tell this is going to be a bad film. And once again, she's here. And the way that she dies is almost satisfying.
She gets the best death scene. She
Yeah,
gets
she is
impaled
like,
with leverage.
yeah, she is like just, she is absolutely destroyed by like falling on a tree branch, like, falling on like a partial tree that like stabs her. And then the scarecrow puts his foot on her back and pushes it through. So essentially impaling her. We don't see the impalement because, that would require a budget. But you can, hear like the squishy noises. It's like
Good Foley work.
No, that's 100% what you deserve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just to like rapidly go through them, the Scarecrow just kind of like predators all the Vikings, full on predator mode. Then we're left with just like the dad and the second in command and the daughter, and then the dad finds his way to the witch, and he cuts a deal with the witch to have the daughter spared. But then there's a lot of Valhalla talk. He loses out on Valhalla to have the daughter spared. Long protracted death scene for the dad when like his time runs out.
Tell me what I must do to save the village.
The village is
Tell me.
Boy.
What witch? What curse? Father, this is madness. Father.
And then the daughter is like a master swordsman who like fights the Scarecrow and kills him twice.
Yeah, like decapitate, like stabs him. Multiple times, and then finally decapitates him. Which is really dumb, but then apparently to invalidate the original contract that her father had with the witch, apparently she has to kill the witch and then take over the witch's position.
Pretty much, but the thing is, like, they really lay it on thick that the witch is immortal, right? It's like it's laid on real thick. Like if she's in like arm's length of the lake, she's immortal. But the Scarecrow just stabs her in the back.
Henrik is not dead.
And that's that. And then
but that was on her final death knell, though.
Yes, she gets stabbed.
The daughter finally like agrees to take over for the witch and takes out her own mother.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the film, we see her, like we see the daughter now, the new lake witch. Again, like this time it's not 2 years, it's 3 years later.
Yeah.
It's 3 years later. They make a deal of actually saying 3 years later. And then she looks up, and then all of the people who were all mercilessly slaughtered by this stupid ass Scarecrow are all up in Valhalla, which looks exactly like the village.
Doesn't look like paradise to me. It's the same exact setting.
Yeah.
It's just Valhalla.
Just brighter, I guess.
And now Greta is now the witch, and she's doing shit. And the Scarecrow is
killing again.
Even though we don't know who the Scarecrow is, because the Scarecrow was somebody for the middle 75 minutes of the film. The opening and the closing, we have no idea who this person is. They don't lay any groundwork for it. It makes zero sense.
Fuck this movie.
1,000%. And we're doing everybody the favor of, if you're interested in watching this movie, we have a drink for you. We have a drinking game for you. It's in the description. We're going to cut that part out. let's just do ratings. Fuck it. Will, what did you rate this movie?
I rated this movie at a high score of 0.5 stars on Letterboxd, because you know what? Any single time that, again, you allow, not only you have a rape that goes uncontested, essentially, that's essentially allowed to happen, and then you allow the rapist to get away with murder still? No.
Fair
Again,
enough.
if you offend my senses this much, offend my senses and my sensibilities this much, no, you're not even getting the full star. Fuck you.
I went a little bit higher only because, like, for a Louisa Warren ITN distribution movie, they made the full use of like their effects budget, and everything technically was not egregious. The movie is stupid. Don't get me wrong, but technically not egregious. So I can't put this in the lowest echelon. This is not a late stage Tooth Fairy. This is not Demonic Plastic Surgeon MD. I went 1.5, which is probably the highest I'll go for a movie of this kind, just because the effects aren't horrific. The acting isn't horrific, but I agree with every point Will made. Exactly every point. If you made this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group Why We Love Horror. Go to the TikTok at WWL Horror. Schedule's the same. Monday versus you're watching it. Wednesdays, special editions. Tuesdays, I skipped over. That's Horror Headlines Live. See it on every platform. Thursdays, Why We Love Horror. This week, we're covering Afraid. And every Friday, Why We Love Horror Trivia. This Friday should be the number one contenders match between Rose Lindsay and Shannon Briggs. So we appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next week here talking about another. I think we still have a few Louisa Warren movies left. Follow the website to find out what we're covering next week. But this has been Versus. We appreciate you so much.